Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where it's two guys' take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the Busted Knuckles Studios right here in beautiful downtown historic Concord, North Carolina. I'll be your host, Biggin, and how about you? We've got a great show lined up for you as always, but before we begin, let me introduce you to the second half of this flaky biscuit. That's right, I'm talking about the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, but most of you probably know him best as the Silver Tongue one, 2016 honorable mention, that guy of the year, the inventor of the redneck egg roll. Give it up on old mic number one, it's Mojo!
Well, let's begin. Thanks for tuning in. You can go to our Facebook page at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can also go to our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. Look us up on the Twitters and Instagram at SFP Radio. You can also go to youtube.com/SFP Radio.
All right. I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week, Mojo, how you be doing?
Dude, it's been a long week since the last podcast. So,
and it's been a shortened week. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, last week we got the girls. The girls had the flu, and then they had we had the snowpocalypse 2018,
yeah.
and the girls were there and just driving us absolutely bonkers. So they finally went back to school,
Nice.
which is good.
Well done.
I'm waiting for another cancellation for like windy weather or something. I mean, I don't know, but
It's we've got to go outside and fly a kite day, so we're going to cancel school.
probably so. National Hot Dog Day, we're canceling. Yeah. So you know what burns my biscuits this week, buddy?
What's that, man? Bring the heat. As he takes a sip of coffee, let me tell you what burns my biscuits.
Gas station coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I need to know more.
There's some gas stations out there that do it obviously pretty good. QT, Sheets,
Yep.
Pilot sometimes. They have like timed, the timers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they do a pretty good job. But man,
Yes.
you go to the run-of-the-mill BP that's maybe ran by maybe a first-generation
Careful.
first generation
say?
immigrant, maybe,
Right.
They just came over trying to settle. The coffee may not be the freshest
Oh, no.
at like 9 a.m. So,
At 9 a.m.
I went to the local corner BP and I didn't have time to, I didn't have the extra 3 minutes to pop in a K cup, So I went up to the local BP and snagged me some coffee and didn't think anything about it.
Got it like you like it. What do you
Yep.
put in your coffee?
I like my coffee like my women, bitter and bold.
Okay.
So, so I get my truck, crank it up, and, pop the top off, let it cool a little bit. So
Sure.
I get about 8 miles down the road and take my first sip. And, dude, it is like thickened steak sauce molasses.
Ooh.
It is.
Good night.
It must have been sitting on the burners for at least 4 or 5 hours. I mean, it was. I probably could clean my battery terminals with it in my truck. So, yeah, gas station coffee. We need to step our game up, guys.
Come on, BP.
Yeah, BP. I know Exxon's pretty good at burning their coffee. I can name a whole slew, but
Yeah.
it just seems like some of the guys don't care. And I'm not pointing out the immigrants that come over and do that because it also works for kids that probably have earplugs and like to vape. They are about the same caliber as far as coffee details. So anyway, so how you be doing?
I'm good, man. It's a shortened week, like we said. We normally record the show on Wednesday, but today is Tuesday. I'm going to the Charlotte Hornets game and Pelicans versus the Pelicans tomorrow, and we're supposed to be possibly getting autographs from some of the players. So go checking out the shoot around. It's UK Day, so there's several UK players on the Pelicans. My dad likes to refer to them
unibrow
as the Pelicats.
Pelicans.
So yeah, you got Anthony Davis, you've got DeMarcus Cousins, Rajon Rondo, Darius Miller, and another guy. So we had to do a little bit of adjustment. But one of the questions that came up in our household this week was my wife just kept saying, you need to change your towel in the bathroom. And so that was the podcast question of the week. How many times do you change your towel before getting a new one? I ask you, what say you? How many times do you do that?
I either change mine after every shower or
So you're in every shower
every other shower, and I have my reasons for that. It's because the dead skin that you're drying off, but also the mold and mildew, type. There's,
Sure.
especially in the summertime here, it's so stinking hot and humid that
Right.
Towels will sour
Yep.
pretty quick. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. You take a clean shower, you got your Irish Spring on, you're feeling all fresh,
Yep.
and then you wipe it with a sour towel, and you just smell like
Sour
butt
towel.
butt cream. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Most of the girls that responded on the podcast question of the week was 2, 3. The guys, Jeremy Congdon tweets out, "I don't clean my towel cleans me."
Yeah.
So that was good. Dewan said he rotates it weekly. Our friend Kurt says depends on what you use it for. I'm just going to leave that there. My little brother said 7 times, 7 days. And another guy says at least around 3 times. So there's a distinct difference for guys versus girls.
Yeah, and I probably I would have fallen in that camp years ago with the once every 7 days to maybe a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it would all depend.
Well, there are 2 that bring in the winner. One of my friends, Devin, said at least 30 times, at least 30 days, true statement, like once a month. That too much is way too much for me. And then Bill says when it stands up on its own, it's time.
Yeah.
For me, I would agree. Once it starts to get that little sour smell to it, that's when I got to ditch it.
You got to use your judgment. So.
Right. But my wife will use one towel one time, and then she uses another towel for her head, and then got to switch it out the next day. Like you're using 4 towels in 2 days. Like, come on, lady.
My old lady, she uses I don't know. I use one towel. I'm good. Bam. But I'll come back in there and there'll be a pile of towels on the floor.
Like, how does that happen?
Like, did you bathe the dog also?
Right. The kids?
Did you run the tub in the
cat?
floor? Did the toilet overflow? I don't quite get this, but yeah, I'm with you.
All right, we're going to get a little personal on this one. Washcloth.
No.
You use one or no?
No.
See, I don't either.
I use the Manly poof.
What?
The little poof, the little ball. Dude, my wife converted me about.
I couldn't do it.
My wife converted me about
scratchy.
10 years ago,
It's too scratchy.
it you get a lot of suds.
Well, yeah, you get suds, but it's too scratchy for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, but I washcloth. I don't know. I guess I had too many memories of my mom scrubbing my elbows and the back of my ears.
And the back of the ears, right? Like you have no skin on the back of your ears because your mom keeps rubbing it. Like, what is that going to do? Like, if you have dirt on the back of your head, how bad is that?
Well, I've never seen people with. Of course, kids now don't play outside, so they don't have to
Right,
worry
they don't
about
have to
it.
worry about it.
But she always said you're gonna get crusty ears. I mean, like I've never seen a human being walking around with crusty ears. Even guys like homeless people.
Homeless guys, they don't have crusty
that haven't
ears.
had a bath in a year.
You're right.
They don't have crusty ears.
No, I haven't seen seen that before. Rough. All right, so we're going to go to some wacky news, and my goodness, there is a week's full of wacky news. So
Even the real news is wacky.
you're right about that. And we're going to go to wacky news brought to you by Webmerized. Have an online presence that you deserve now with a new website from Webmerized.
Ooh, baby, it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. Every time I look around, every time I look around, it's in my face.
Ooh. All right, so here is a local story. Headline is Serious Design Flaw on the Lynx Blue Line Extension. So in Charlotte, we have got all these like little train monorail things.
It's not a monorail, but it's kind of like the Disney World monorail type thing.
Right, yeah. That are
Light rail.
Light rail. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
That are being installed, and there's the new one is called the Blue Line, and that goes from downtown fairly close to our side of the town. But there was a discovery that was made that there were warning pavers for the visually impaired were placed the wrong direction at dozens of brand new light rail crossings. The design flaw meant multiple crossing gates would have closed directly onto the blind pedestrians. So they are having to rip up 30 pedestrian railroad crossings to get this fixed. Can you believe that? There's no amount on how much it's going to be, but you got to guarantee that's going to be a lot of money.
Well, I think they were over budget to begin with, if I'm not mistaken, because there's really no government project that goes under budget
Right.
or on time.
Yep.
So I think they were actually ahead of schedule, but obviously not now. So
I would have almost liked to have seen it not happen, like them to not fix it.
yeah.
And then the one guy that gets bonked on the head by the thing that comes down.
Oh, he would have been a bajillionaire.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, here, I don't. Government waste is huge,
doubt.
especially in cities that have constant election years like Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the next pet project. That try to.
We're going to save the city with a new project.
Exactly. We're going to rid car pollution by having light rail pollution instead, which electric. The electric that
Right.
feeds this light rail system comes off of a coal power plant or nuclear, but
From Duke.
yeah, so don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate government waste.
Mm-hmm.
I think the light rail system it's been proven in other
yeah.
cities left and right. I mean, Detroit, Detroit has like 500,000 people left in a city that once had 3.5 million.
Right.
But so they have a monorail system. Vegas has one. Of course, Vegas can have heated or air conditioned sidewalks, and it wouldn't matter
Right.
because of the money coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is number one. It's a wasted project to begin with. I mean, you can
Gonna
actually
use it.
Yeah,
Nobody I know is going to jump on that light rail.
no, not at all. I mean, and before long, the taggers will have it graffitied up anyway. So
It'll
I mean,
look cool.
yeah, it'll look modern. Yeah, we'll be like the crap hole that Portland or Seattle, strives to be. But yeah, it's a waste of money to begin with. I mean, and here we have the brightest and most brilliant people who design transportation hubs and engineering feats, and they get this wrong. I mean, granted, it's probably better than designing something that requires two rails and only putting one rail in. I mean, that's great, but
Right.
how could this not be caught ahead of time? And also, I guarantee you, Charlotte's going to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to go back to the company who installed it and say, you made a mistake, you morons, and you're going to pay for it. They're not going
Yeah.
to do that.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's so they have to rip it all up and start all over again.
So probably I guarantee it's probably going to cost about $50,000 to $75,000 per stop, times what 30?
Yeah, because they've got to rip it all out,
Yep.
put in the new one.
Re-engineer it,
Yeah.
grade it, whatever they got to do.
Good
So
night.
they're probably about $75,000 because I mean, for concrete,
Oh, yeah.
is not
That
dirt
ain't-
cheap. I mean, unless you're going to pour like a 4x4 patio, but I mean, this is stuff that's probably going to be rebarred. I mean, it's going
Yeah.
to have some
Yeah.
structural integrity to
Yeah.
it. So
I mean, you got a light rail going through it. So.
yeah, so of course the taxpayers will get hit with it. Yeah, whatever.
Well, there you go, Mecklenburg County.
And also, it's probably not just local taxes. It's probably federal funding because
Yeah.
this is part of the Obama agenda as far as light rails and trains and stuff like that. So, yeah, there we go. So, if anybody listening here in the States besides North Carolina, you get to pay for it too. You're welcome.
All right, so here is another story. Amazon user orders Bitcoin miner and gets a Boss Baby DVD instead. A UK resident tried to purchase a Bitcoin miner off of Amazon last year, but received a DVD copy of the animated film instead. He paid about $5,000 for this Bitcoin miner.
Jeez.
And when he got the package, he signed for it and then opened it up, and there was the Bad Baby DVD. Could you imagine spending $5,000 on something and then getting something worth $20?
Well, just a little context. A Bitcoin miner
yeah, like-
is basically a hard drive that operates on the Bitcoin algorithm. And how it mines Bitcoins is it solves these mathematical equations. And if there's constantly these Bitcoin miners around the globe now. They're mining these algorithms and these mathematical equations, trying to earn a coin. So that's the reason why I bought it. It would have been a smart buy over time, but obviously, obviously he may need to do a return on that. if you can.
And he tried. He actually purchased it when the Bitcoin was valued at $10,000.
Wow.
And then it went up the week that he was supposed to get it and get it all set up. It went up to $19,000. And then he had a fight for a month to try to get his money back from Amazon. The guy poofed that he bought it from, ghosted on him, and then but he eventually got his money back.
Well, that's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
Amazon stepped up to that. I mean,
Yeah.
that, of course, Amazon owns very few products. I mean, they have their own lines, but
Right.
for the most part, it's independent people that
Mm-hmm.
throw products into these shipment warehouses and then they sell it. So hopefully Amazon tracks down the goon who sold that
Yeah.
and prosecutes because.
But the dude lost like $10,000. I mean, if he would have mined one
Yeah.
coin, you
Yeah.
know, he could have had $10,000. But I wonder, the question I have is, does he get to keep the DVD, or did he have to return that?
I mean, Boss Baby is not a bad movie.
not a bad movie.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. I've watched it at least 11 times with a 5-year-old.
All right, so here's my next story: is a German nurse charged with 97 more murders at hospitals.
So what's this nurse up to now?
A German nurse serving a life sentence for 2 murders has been charged with killing 97 additional patients. Prosecutor said on Monday. A new indictment against Niles Hogel was expected after officials said in November that he may have killed more than 100 patients in total. He worked at a clinic, 2 clinics, between 1999 and 2005. And during the trial, he said that he intentionally brought about a cardiac crisis in about 90 patients because he enjoyed the feeling of being able to resuscitate them. Hey, buddy, it didn't work for 100 people.
You know,
just saying.
there's actually, have you watched the Black Mirror episode?
Yeah.
There's actually a very similar episode on Black Mirror about this, where the
Yeah.
guy becomes obsessed with watching them, and basically that dopamine, adrenaline pump dump that they get
Yeah.
from trying to rescue, but also watching them pass away. So, wow. So, I mean, I wonder how many times he was successful at resuscitating. Well, obviously, he had a pretty high failure rate.
Yeah. In the new case, the 62 involved patients who died and 35 patients in the 2 different hospitals that he worked at. I mean, good night. I mean, that's a lot. They had to actually exhume 134 bodies from 67 cemeteries, and he
That
was
wasn't
questioned
cheap.
6 times. Yeah. Good night. That's insane, right? Like 100 people.
Yeah, no, that's I don't care how you classify that. That's a serial killer. So,
You're right about that.
so I don't know if he'll be on the next episode of Mindhunter, but yeah, that's my heart goes out to the families
Sure.
that had to that are
you
having to
imagine?
relive
Yeah.
it now. They already had to live the fact that their loved one's no longer here.
Yeah.
But now they're going to go through this whole process of court, exhuming whatever
Yeah.
they had just to give. I mean, this guy extra, notches on his bedpost, or whatever for the crime. But
Yeah.
I wonder you said this is in Germany.
Yeah.
I wonder how Germany will handle this with their laws. I know that a lot of European countries are no death penalty, and they also have very lackadaisical security, prisons. I mean, our maximum security prisons probably look like, quite drastic compared to, like, for example, Sweden.
Right.
You have your own key to your
Right.
jail cell. So
I was really hoping you were going to say a concentration camp.
no,
Just-
I can't even go there. That's like that's a benchmark that no one ever wants to have to use or achieve. So,
Right. I mean, like comparing our
Yeah,
our prisons to that. But yeah, it's really 100 people, dude. That's crazy. At some point though, I think that you would have put that together. Like when you're at, I don't know, 10, be like, hey, Steve keeps going over there and checking on that patient.
See, I don't know how he got away with it because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because
Niles.
like I was on home health care after my transplant, and before my transplant, I was on home health care, and they had such checks and balances, where if I had a wound infection or something like that one week and didn't have it the next. I mean, there was some coordinator from some
Right.
office who would call and check on me. So
Yeah.
I don't know how, they didn't
Yeah.
have. So I guess Germany has free health care, but there's an option that you may not live through.
Right. I mean, but if Niles is your nurse and he's gone through 15 patients, you might want to look at that a little bit more. Who was doing his reviews?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Well, I see you've taken care of 15 patients this month, and 15 of them died. I don't think you're getting a raise this month.
Yeah, and I guarantee that's that somebody dropped the ball on the government into that. Because I mean,
Sure.
it's government-run healthcare
Yeah.
over there too. So
Good gravy, y'all. All right, so those are our wacky news stories for today. We've got some more news that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, but and we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a segment we call Dear Mojo, where I'm going to ask Mojo some Dear Abby questions and see what his answers would be. So you're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. We'll be right back. Words cannot describe how awesome Robert and his team at Webmerized are. In our time of need, Robert came through for us and devoted more time than expected to help our organization develop our new website. It truly is a blessing to have an individual that can speak to the average person not in the IT world in a manner that can easily be understood. The process of working with his team was painless, and I look forward to working with them for future projects. Our website is spectacular, and I'm really proud of what was developed by Webmerized. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Don't take Stella H's word for it, and also Southern Fried Philosophies, but go out to webmerized.com, WEBMERIZED, or check out the sponsors link on our website. And if you mention the word biggin in your order, you'll get 10% off. Check them out at webmerized.com for your web services needs.
Dear Abby, my feet are too long. My hair's falling out and my rights are all wrong. My friends, they all tell me that I've no friends at all. Won't you write me a letter? Won't you give me a call? Signed, Bewildered.
All right, Mojo, here's the question. At what point does a man finally give up hope on finding a mate and accept that he may end up alone? I'm 29. I've never had a chance to date in high school. My family farms, and when I was 14, my grandfather could no longer help my dad. Dad couldn't take care of things alone, so I would go out and help him the minute I got home from school every day. Between the farm work and keeping up my studies, I had grown up fast. I graduated with a 3.5 GPA, but because I had no time for dating, this part of my development has always been off. I have been set up by friends and family, tried meeting people in groups and online dating sites, but so far, it has come to no avail. My last actual date was 2 years ago. Friends tell me I'm a good guy, so I can't figure out what's gone wrong. I have never regretted helping my dad when he needed me, but I wish that I hadn't come to such a steep social price. Am I doomed to a lonely life because I did the right thing when I was in high school? Signed, a Midwest farmer.
FarmersOnly.com.
And we're done.
No, in this day and age, there's, like I said, there's websites, there's apps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 29 years old. It's not like he's 79.
Yeah.
Even people find love in nursing homes.
Yep.
I mean, so maybe the problem is you. Okay, so here's what you do, Buttercup. You stop writing these letters and you go find yourself a life coach, because there are social coaches out there that can help you break through.
Yeah.
Any type of hysteria or frightness or meekness, whatever you may have. There are actually coaches out there that get paid to do this. So there's options out there for you. Maybe you just need to buckle down. Maybe it's not everyone else and it's just you.
You could, my advice would be, if you might try to buy a Bitcoin miner and then hope to get the DVD Hitch. That could also help.
I think Hitch had some good guidance, for this young man.
Yeah.
So 29 and giving up. Come on.
Oh, by the way, I also did not have a date in high school, so it can be done, my friend. It can be done.
Actually, I can concur. The dates I had were not really dates, but they're just,
Attaboy.
It was like one of those we feel sorry for you type dates.
the sympathy
so
dates.
I had those, and then you friend zoned it pretty early.
Yes.
I don't know if it was at the line of the CC's buffet but I got friend zoned pretty quick.
I had the sympathy prom dates. The thing the tricky thing on that was I didn't realize it was a sympathy prom date.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
Until it was way too late.
Yep. I didn't come out of my I didn't blossom or come out of my nutshell until I was like 18, 19.
Wow.
So it was a while, and I was socially awkward too. But you have to find you, and I guarantee this this kid, what will help him develop some social skills is go get him a job waiting tables. You're
There you
forced to interact with people.
Yeah.
You're forced to have an engaged conversation because obviously your money. The tips that you make
Right.
will happen with the people that want that, and you'll pick up social cues. These people want me to talk; these people don't want me to talk. You can see couples interact. You can also see girls that want to give you your number. I mean, there's all kinds of cues there. So that'd be the best advice. Instead of paying a social coaches, but just go get a job at Applebee's
There you go.
or Crapplebee's.
I might actually go try that.
Yeah,
I would be
me
less
too.
socially
Maybe
awkward.
we should go get a job at Applebee's.
Could
for a
you
week.
imagine us at Applebee's for a week?
I probably wouldn't last a day.
All right, so
All you can eat riblets right now. I'll be like, nah, you've already had enough.
screw you, Cloud. What I would do on that case is I would keep ordering it for the guy, but I would be eating the riblets.
Just have you a to-go box back there. Just
Yeah,
keep shoving
just
them in. Yeah, there you go.
That's genius, actually. I'll never have to pay for food again. What Abby says was a quick online search would show you that there are women who would be very interested in meeting someone like you. Well, that's a lie.
Farmers only.
Go back online and start researching dating sites for farmers and ranchers. Well, I can't guarantee you'll meet a match. It'll be a good place to start. So
Just stay away from the leathercladfarmersonly.com because that may be a men only.
that might be.
Just saying.
Yep. Okay.
Not from
here's,
experience.
have you ever thought about? Well, I was gonna say you've been married for forever, so I don't know. If I were single again, would you go dating? If you were single, again?
Number one, I wouldn't want to date again.
I mean,
And
online. Okay. All right. You're done.
well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't date again, but
Okay.
I'm saying that I couldn't imagine dating now.
Oh yeah.
Because I think the climate has changed so much
Mm-hmm.
with, you could get to a first date back
Right.
in 1996. You could
Sure.
get to a first date without them checking out your social media history and finding out
Right.
that you're a creeper beforehand. Now they can check that out. Back then, you at least had a few days till they met some of your friends before they
Right.
found out that you're a creeper.
I just had the mental image of me trying to make a Tinder picture.
Oh, but even with Tinder, from what I read on several things, you got to word your profile pretty
yeah.
inept or pretty adapted to what you want. Because if you put on their vegan social justice word, then you're gonna have every short-haired, pink-haired,
Hey now.
ear gauged, unshaven,
Nope.
person who identifies as a female
Sure.
attracted to cis white males out there. That's too much.
That's way too
Yeah.
much. I'm just gonna say I like biscuits. That would be the only thing I would say on my Tinder profile.
I still think we need to make a Tinder profile of a biscuit.
Okay, I think let's do it.
Yep.
Let's light it up. All right, here's the next one. Dear Abby, my husband, this could have been Kimberly. My husband has a long, bushy, ugly beard, and although I don't like it, I realize he's entitled to wear his facial hair any way he likes it. The problem is when he eats, his beard gets into his plate and the food, which I find nauseating. Signed, Too Much Hair in Texas. What you got for me there, champ?
Well, you could either do it the dirty way, wait till he's asleep.
Oh, snap.
If you want to make sure he's extra asleep, just slap a few, NyQuils in his dinner plate, and as he's, troughing it like a pig, he's eating the NyQuil or whatever, and then he's asleep, just shave it off.
Ooh.
So, no, I wouldn't do it that way because obviously you'd have a mad husband, but obviously got to confront the guy, take a picture of him, embarrass him. I mean, that's what my wife would do. My wife would embarrass me and then be like, you look ridiculous. Then I would think about it. So
Maybe. Yeah. Her advice is if your husband's beard's too long that it drags his food off his plate, then the first thing you should suggest is that he sits up straighter when he's eating. However, if he's unwilling or unable to do that, perhaps he would consider using one hand to hold his beard aside while he's taking a fork fill or using hair clips to keep it away from his food. I don't know. All right.
if it's probably big and bushy and nasty looking, then it probably needs to go. It's uncapped. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to groom the mane.
Mm-hmm.
So
Understand. All right, here's our final one. I co-signed a college loan for my grandson. Unfortunately, he didn't earn passing grades and was kicked out. He frequently missed loan payments, and I end up getting a late payment letter. I'm afraid his inattention to his debt will inadvertently affect my credit. I can make the late payment or pull the money out of my savings and pay off the loan. If I pay off the loan, I plan to deduct that amount of money from his inheritance. He's very apologetic about it when I talk to him, but I'm tired of hanging it over my head. How should I handle this? Signed, Tired of Paying.
all kids aren't meant to go to college.
I would agree with that.
Some kids are meant to be ditch diggers. And
Yep.
that's no shadow on the ditch digging community
We
out
need
there.
ditches.
But it just happens. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but all kids aren't meant to go to college. I don't know why parents feel the need to feel like they have to send their kids to like a 4-year institute or a 2-year school because they may not be meant to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, number one, just pay it off. You know, if you have a problem, if there's a solution, you have that solution is to pay it off.
Yep.
Then do it. That way, the worry's out of there, deduct it from his inheritance, and move on. I mean, no point in sweating it. Obviously, your grandkid is probably not qualified to even have an inheritance because he's probably going to piss it all away. So,
Yeah, that was going to be my question is do
Yeah.
you even give him an inheritance at this point?
if you give him an inheritance, you put it in like government CDs or bonds because you know if you buy a $25 bond, it's going to be $25 in 50 years.
This is going to pay off.
He's
in
not
50
he's not going to be responsible. Obviously, if he's not responsible, he probably didn't go to class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's how I made bad grades in college. I didn't go to class.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't go to class. He probably didn't pay attention. So I wouldn't trust him with inheritance. So,
No.
you know,
Let her go.
you can, if you're listening, grandparent, you can send a check PayPal to SFP Radio.
Oh, that'd be
So,
great. We'll take the inheritance.
Yeah,
money.
we'll do great things with it.
I don't know about great, but we'll do fairly decent things.
We'll do better than your in-app grandkid.
You're right about that. Abby said, your grandson's irresponsibility will reflect on your credit. If it hasn't already, pay off the loan and do not co-sign for him again. He should repay the money he borrowed from you as well as any penalties when he begins earning his own money. However, if he doesn't, you are within your rights to deduct that amount from his inheritance.
And I
you got that
guarantee
one
this
right.
is probably the same grandparent who probably bought them an apartment after college and also a vehicle
Yeah.
to get to and from their McDonald's job.
Yep.
Bet you money.
I remember the day that I got dropped off for college, and my dad looked at me after we went through signing up all the classes, and he looked at me and said, "So, how do you think you're going to pay for this?" And I said, "Well, you're not doing that." And he said, "Oh no, no, I'm not."
Smart dad. You know, when you have the ownership of that responsibility of that
Oh, yeah.
debt, you take it a lot more serious.
Yep.
And I understood. My parents made me a deal. They'll pay half the school if I pay the other half.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take that very serious because I didn't own the debt.
Yeah.
If I would have owned the whole debt, then I probably still wouldn't have attended, but I would have known that college was not for me quicker instead of 1 year. It'd been like a semester. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy world. I mean, and honestly, people are coming out of college. It's great, fine. If that's your thing, do your thing. But trade schools, hey, buddy, you're going to make some serious jack.
Man,
in
we
trade
have
schools.
such, and I know we've talked about this
Yeah,
on
we're gonna
other
need it.
shows, is that we're lacking such tradesmen. You look at Charlotte right now, we'll just take Charlotte as a microcosm of this country. We have such a shortage for masons,
Mm-hmm.
for electricians, for plumbers, for, I mean, it's everything. You name a thing, any person, whatever trade it takes to build a house
Mm-hmm.
or a commercial build, we're lacking right now. I mean, our pastor who's building a house, I mean, they're having to make appointments 3 weeks out. You know, for
Yeah.
example, a concrete person 3 weeks out. If that concrete person doesn't show up, then he has to postpone the next person. You know, the next person.
Yeah.
So it's just nuts out here. So
In fact, he was trying to get a concrete person out, but they had to go pour the new concrete for the links line again.
I would love to get that contract if I was a concrete company. But you know, the tradesmen are going to be probably some of the highest paid people
Mm-hmm.
pretty soon because you're going to have a bajillion idiots out there with a poli-sci degree or a business management degree or
Mm-hmm. Underwater
parks,
basket weaving.
parks and recreation management degree, which is like the easiest degree to get from like Clemson
Criminal
University.
justice, yeah.
You'll have all these degrees out there, and they're all going to be working mid-level jobs. Somewhere. I mean, they'll be packing boxes at Amazon or something like that.
Probably.
I mean,
Legitimate.
nothing wrong with that because I
No.
know people work at Amazon. I'm just saying that degree is probably not going to be worth the paper it's on because everyone's going to have degrees,
Yeah.
or a large portion.
Yeah.
So
I don't use my degree.
I was a business owner. I had 5 restaurants, and I had people that worked my cashier, which I paid pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But people would work my cashier that had a 4-year degree in poli-sci or history.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wasn't the only delivery guy in Pizza Hut that had a master's degree, but hey, I was there. I had to pay the bills.
you weren't the only one, that's right.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. I won't be the first. I won't be the last. But I mean, it was.
Well,
I was delivering pizzas with drug heads.
yeah, and you look at Uber and Lyft and all the other rideshare. You have the same thing. Is a lot of these people have degrees or have degrees or partial degrees that are still trying to pay off. So and they pick up these extra jobs with, like being an independent contractor. So degrees a degree does not mean you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
So.
And you're probably not even going to use it.
That's right.
So,
especially in the field. What's your degree in?
Christian education, and I'm in IT.
Yeah. So there
nailed
you
it.
go. There you go.
Oh, I should have done communications. That would have been more helpful.
I know how to do it. I was in school for theology, believe it or not. So, but I know how to do a pretty mean keg stand. So I did learn that. That was worth the $15,000.
There you go. And you became less socially awkward. So working on your dad's farm.
That's right.
All right. Well, that was some Dear Abby.
You ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some just news around the world. We'll be back. You're listening to Southern Fried Philosophy. Hey guys, it's me, Big Ain. Summer is made for grilling and chilling, and you too can be the baddest mother smoker on the block using our favorite award-winning smoking sauce. Bad Mother Smokers is perfect match for that favorite meat, veggies, or even that secret ingredient in a pot of chili. Check out badmothersmokers.com to place your order, and if you want to be a barbecue pit master like Mojo, enter the promo code MOJO for 10% off your order. Visit badmothersmokers.com or the sponsors section of our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. The views and opinions of Southern Fried Philosophy are not necessarily those of our sponsors, friends of the show, or guests, but they should be. All right, we are back, and so we are going to talk about some news.
There's nothing like a good review to make us want to blow. So affirmation, neveration, change the contra pro. For every time they praise us, our ego quickly raises with the views in the news.
All right, so a Russian spy ship was spotted 100 miles off the North Carolina coast. This one's close to home. A Russian spy ship, the Viktor Leonov, I don't know how they Russians say it, was spotted 100 miles off the southeast coast of Wilmington, North Carolina, in international waters, according to the U.S. military officials. Just days after the vessel was seen leaving the capital of Trinidad and Tobago, a port of Spain. Two U.S. military officials said the Russian ship has been tracked by the destroyer USS Cole and other naval assets. It's outfitted with a variety of high-tech spy equipment and designed to intercept communication signals. Wow. Last week it was in the Caribbean, by the way.
Now, I'm not sponsored by any Russian agency.
You think?
So just in case, before people get mad, I will bet dollars to donuts that we have the same type of vessels and aircraft and spying in Russia. So I'm sure the hysteria is probably up there. But also, there's a good possibility this could be a gambling casino sub. I'm just saying they could be taking rich tourists from Cuba. Hey, we'll take you on a 7-day submarine cruise, and we'll play some baccarat and roulette and 21. And how many do I have behind my back?
Pick a number, any number.
That's right.
That one.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. That wouldn't be a bad trip.
No.
Go down the Caribbean. go up the
Unlimited
coast.
vodka,
Oh, yeah.
caviar. Yeah,
I don't know. Are you a caviar guy?
I like caviar. It's got to be good caviar. But
I'm
yeah,
not a big fan of that. I don't know if you saw this. This one actually probably should have belonged in Wacky News. A teacher strips naked on the elementary school playground and chases nearby students. So there is a PE teacher in LA, and he couldn't get his kids to run around. So his job was supposed to be helping them learn PE, run around and have fun, one parent said, but he undressed and started chasing the kids while he was naked. The kids ducked and dodged and ran into the classrooms and got to a Safeway. Well, mission accomplished, sir.
Well, turned out to be what you were expecting to be an average Tuesday turned out to be you're now going to be listed as a child sexual predator for the rest of your life.
Golly. All the kids saw was private parts.
I don't think PE stands for private. Just saying,
What was going through his head? It's like, now's the time part of the sex ed class. Let's go over that.
well, hopefully, number one, hopefully this is sick and poor joke, but look, hopefully he didn't look like my coach, my PE coach. But no,
If it was my PE coach, he would be butt naked and you couldn't see nothing anyway.
as a father, and because I have a 5-year-old in elementary school, as a father, and I found this out,
You think you'd be dead? Right now?
I would beat the brakes off of the guy. So what possessed him to do this?
The police caught him and then hauled him into the mental health facility,
Obviously.
and they're still trying to figure out what's going on. Still got a case against
So
him.
we don't know what's up, but geez.
Mental health counselors was also made available to the children.
Well, good job.
good for them.
Good job, human resources, for weeding this guy out. Jeez.
Golly. He was
Yeah,
a
obviously,
contact-
there's no defense out there for this cat. To
No,
be like,
not at all.
I was,
Not at
whatever.
all.
I'm sure they'll probably come up with. I mean, all he has to do is hire the ACLU to come up with some plausible defense of, he identifies naked, free time, free bird, or whatever.
probably it.
So
I mean, dude looked actually kind of jacked. Like he was a big, health guy. But man,
still, it don't matter.
It
That's
don't
just
matter.
sick. I mean,
all right, kids. I'm going to need y'all to do a lap. No, coach, I think I'm just going to sit here and watch my phone.
yeah. Even if the guy was bigger than me and could beat me up, I'd hire an MMA guy or something like that to beat the brakes off of. It's just, poor kids. Hopefully
Hopefully
there's
are
no
okay.
permanent. Kids resilient. Hopefully there's no permanent, scarring or whatever mentally. But wow, what possessed this guy? I'd like to find out. But
Yeah. So we are successfully out of a government shutdown.
well, it started and then it ended. So I think 3 days,
3 full days.
less than 72 hours, I think. So.
Yep.
By the way, they were predicting the end of the world, and some of the funnier clips out of it was our I can't remember the orbital astronomical association that tracks meteors. They all had to sign out, so that we had the potential of getting sidetracked by a meteor for 3 days. That was
Okay.
one of CNN stories that was supposed to cause panic.
So that was it.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, of course, the social medias, everyone on Facebook and Twitter have to have their opinion on
Of
this
course.
because,
That's where we get our news.
everyone's right. Everyone's right. No one's wrong.
Yep.
90%, 88 to 90% of the government still functions on what they call essential services. I mean, come on. I mean, I think the two biggest outcries that the Democrats tried and the liberals tried to sucker up to this was 2 of the recent Air Force pilots who deceased. Their death benefits were being withheld from their families. Now, not to be mean and cruel, but how many Democrats in Congress? I shouldn't say people that vote Democrat, but honestly, how many Democrats in Congress and the Senate actually give a crap about cops and military? I mean, they're the ones that would withhold funding for actual military, hardware.
Right.
So, I mean, when did they give 2 craps?
Yeah, you can't tell me we really care about you, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
Not give you
Look at the
the stuff you
VA
need.
system. VA
Yeah.
system.
Nailing it.
Perfect. I mean, they had it for 8 years, and it's worse than it ever has been. So,
Yeah.
don't tell me, don't cry at that. That's a political move,
Yeah.
and whatever. But yeah, the mass hysteria. I mean, you wake up every day as another mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Side. I mean, it depends what the vote is or what the docket of the day. But yeah, crap.
You said a key word there: essential services.
Right.
can we look at the things that are non-essential and just kind of get rid of those?
I think it's a great. Honestly, the best thing about a government shutdown is we actually get to see what we're not paying for. For
Right.
example, the congressional gym. We
Yeah.
pay a staff and also a gym facility for these clowns that sit in office. I'm talking about Democrat, Republican.
Well-
We should. That's something that they can get a $10 Anytime Fitness membership.
Can we not just
Yeah.
outsource that to Planet Fitness?
I mean, come on, and they get free pizza on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I can't remember which day it is, but
How
I mean,
about it?
I'm just saying that. I wonder how much money we waste taxpayer dollars. I'm sure the ketchup.
sure.
I'm sure the Ketchup Institute had to shut down for 3 days, so we saved money on that.
Yeah.
I mean, so we should look honestly. I think
Yeah.
a great point that we during this time we had a prime opportunity to see what we're actually throwing down the drain.
Or maybe this is a time where we step back and say, what should the government really be doing
Exactly.
based on our Constitution? They
Exactly.
shouldn't be having to do all of the stuff that we're doing now. We
Exactly.
could scale back a ton right now.
Oh yeah.
a
But
ton.
yep. Oh, and not even touch the surface. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep. So, well, way to go. It got kicked down the road. I think it will.
February 8th.
February
They'll
8th.
have another
We'll freak out again.
continuing resolution, and they're supposed to vote on the DACA resolution or whatever before then.
I got you. Hold on.
But they're supposed to vote on that before February 8th. But we'll most likely see it shut down 2.0, I bet you, unless the Republicans cave and give everything that the Democrats are requesting. Basically, the Democrats right now currently are saying that they will give $2 billion in funding for a wall if they're able to keep any person they consider this DACA protocol. I think the Republicans are split right now. Some Republicans want it, like Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, and Senator McCain and a few others. Jeff Flake, I think, is one of them. But yeah, so basically, if Trump caves on this, he probably loses quite a bit of his base. If he plays the part that he has signaled to voters before his campaign, he'll probably come out a winner. I mean, of course, he's not going to make friends on the left, but
Yeah.
that's the game of politics.
But what is funny is now the Republican president has blamed the Democrats for if the Democrats will just get their crap together, then we won't have to do this. But do you remember when Obama was in president? He said the other way around. If just the Republicans would get their crap together,
Right.
we'd be okay.
Yeah.
It's just over and over.
It's
again.
a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
What was in then is out now. What was out now was back in then. So
Yeah.
in both parties are well, except for a few senators, both parties are culpable in this multitude. And the hypocrisy knows no bounds. I mean, you look at Schumer from New York, what the vile comments, or not vile, the comments that he made as far as this being racist and this and that.
Yeah. Come on.
He also made similar comments back when the Republicans, kind of stood down on some issues that they didn't want to vote for, and the spending bill came up. Remember the shutdown of 2013?
Yeah.
So he's one of the biggest hypocrites out there, and of course. Luckily, with the invention of a recording, we now have these clips and audio that have been saved for all posterity. So it's not easy to escape these comments. But it's all political play. It is people that are manipulating get so fired up of it on this, and then they feel compelled the need to go to social media and give everyone their 2 cents.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean it's. In 3 years, this will be past us, and you won't even remember it. You won't even remember why you're fired up.
Yeah.
So it's nonsense. And this DACA thing, like I said last year, I don't think anything's going to change with it. To be honest with you, I think they'll probably find a loophole. And I have mixed emotions. To be honest with you, I have mixed emotions about it. People that have been part of a community for 30 or 40 years, and then I'm sure there's some levels of MS-13 that have escaped the border, or Russian mobsters in New Jersey that are just come off of a private plane or a boat or whatever. Those are the guys that they need to be targeting first, not
a Russian submarine just off the coast of Wilmington.
Yeah, exactly. So there's people out there that are easily reachable that have less of a community impact.
Yeah.
So, granted, I love one tweet today. I forgot who it was. I think it was CNN. It says deporting these illegal aliens that have committed no crimes. Well, number one, they actually have committed a crime. They're called illegal aliens for a reason. So
I don't know why we can't get past that.
Yeah.
Like, at what point have we just forgot what illegal is?
yeah.
I don't
Well,
get
just like
that.
Tori said, our last episode guest, episode 53, Tori Allman's a missionary in the Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
well, they are pretty tight on immigration too, but no
Yeah.
one's calling the Dutch racist. So I mean, it's kind of admirable what they're doing because they want to be selective.
Yeah.
They want people that come in and assimilate into a society and culture. They don't want to change their society and culture. So
Right.
anyway,
But we all got to change. We all got to
yeah.
bow down to the other
Yep.
one. Speaking of bowing down, I don't even know if we want to touch this. No pun intended.
What's up?
Aziz Ansari. Do we want to go there?
Yeah, we might as well. I mean, this is kind of this story's about 2 weeks old now, but I guess Babe.com, which was a site that I never even knew existed.
Didn't know existed.
Yeah, I mean, Babe.com, you would probably think it's has
Don't go there, by the
has
way.
a not suitable
Or
for
should we?
work.
I haven't even gone there.
I've gone to look at the original article.
Okay.
But you think it should have an NSFW
It should
rating
or
for
shouldn't?
work.
Should we tell
well, you
people not
think.
to-
I'm saying
Okay.
at Babe.com, you would think
Okay. Mm-hmm.
it's probably like a Hugh Hefner website. That was my first thing. But Babe.com posted. Somebody posted an article called "I went on a date with Aziz Ansari." Yeah, it turned into the worst night of my life, and it was by a blogger named Katie Way. Now I've reached out to Katie Way just like everybody in America has,
Sure.
but she did not respond
You
by the
would-
timing
you
of
would
this
think
broadcast.
They would have reached out to Southern Fried Philosophy.
I
I mean,
I'll
Fox
be-
News, CNN, we're heavy hitters.
Well, the gist of the story, and you can go to Babe. It's called Babe.net, and just look up Aziz Ansari.
so do not go to babe.com. Go to babes.net.
That probably could be a problem. But basically, it's after the 2017 Emmy Awards. This lady by the name of Grace, last name withheld. She's a 23-year-old Brooklyn-based photographer. She's 22, and
I'm so sorry. I actually went to babe.com, and please do not go there.
so Babe, it's go to Babe.net. Anyway, this 23-year-old photographer named Grace, she attends the Emmys, and then I guess strikes up a conversation. They probably had a pretty mutual conversation, her and Aziz. And
I think it was based on a camera.
Yeah.
Aziz had a old school camera.
Right.
And I think she
And-
did too.
Yeah, and then so he basically slid her his number, and then she called him.
Yeah.
And then basically you can go. We won't get too graphic on this, but basically she felt violated after committing consensual sexual acts with him. So, and it basically lays out how she basically had buyer's remorse. It depends on how you read this article.
Yeah.
It looks like she had opportunities. She could have said no, but she didn't. She complied. She allowed herself to have acts performed on her, and she performed acts on him. And then she decided to call foul the day after. So that's my intake from the
Yeah.
article. I mean, what's yours?
Reading the same article, I got the impression that she said that she was giving out multiple nonverbal cues, which as a guy, can I just tell you that ain't going to work. Nonverbal cues to a guy when he's ready to, do the deed, that's not happening.
What is a nonverbal cue, though?
Right.
I mean, a nonverbal cue from a woman is usually a smack in the face or a finger in the eye. Or
And I think another article that I read that basically said the same thing. Like a nonverbal cue back in the day was a smack in the face.
or a knee in the crotch would be a perfect nonverbal cue.
Right. And from what it sounded like from the article, it was just just kind of like trying to scoot over a little bit further away. And
Yeah,
and that kind of
but
thing.
here's the thing: multiple times
Yeah.
they engaged in, sexual acts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people can rip Aziz all. I'm not a big fan of Aziz. I think some of his stuff is funny, but the majority of it is just cringeworthy.
Right.
Personally, it's just not
Yeah.
my style of humor.
Yeah.
But stories like this, I honestly overshadow and belittle the actual real allegations out there, you know, that have appropriate means. You know, women that are being forced, or women who are silenced. You know, threatened. You know, physically threatened.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something. And then of course, you know, and plus, I don't see Aziz as that tough male figure who's going to force
alpha
him
male.
away. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't say. I guess alpha male's even a bad name.
Well,
but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah.
he's more of a beta, and I just don't see him being so aggressive. I mean, I don't even think he can open a pickle jar by himself. You know, I mean, so
Yeah.
I just don't see this.
Yeah.
I think it's articles like this that have a person that she knows of, you know, that has relayed this conversation without getting both sides. Stuff like this just infuriates me because, and I'm like I said, I'm not taking it for Aziz. I think you got to take it for what it is face value for what we read. And the woman admits she committed consensual sexual acts on this guy. So I don't know. It's frustrating for me.
At the end of the article, she texted him and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I felt horrible. I think it was the next day. It's like, you made me feel awful. I got in the cab, crying her eyes out." And I want to defend just women in this case. Like, if you say no, the guy should say no, and it should stop. And from what I read in the article, it sounded like she said no a few times, but then kind of he kept pushing her, and she then consented. So, guys, just if they say no the first time, just stop. Like, go, get out. You know, whatever the situation be. First and foremost, I'll say this: don't even put yourself in that situation on a date to have relations with anyone. I'll probably get slammed for that, but but I'm big, you know, standing up for at least this woman to say she tried to say no. He kept pushing himself on her multiple times. There were verbal, nonverbal cues in that, but I think for me, one of the things that I wanted to bring out on this is, one, it's clickbait, and I'm not trying to minimize the allegations on this at all, but all you have to do is have a headliner and just the word, you know, sexual harassment, and you'll get tons and tons of money for that. So what's the motivation behind bringing this article up? But I'm kind of with you. I don't see him doing that type of thing. I'm not trying to justify him by any means, but I struggle with, this could ruin his entire career for the rest of his life based on one allegation. And it may or may not even be justified. I think where I'm frustrated is just one allegation could kill a person, their career and whatnot.
But here's the double standard: is that my last week, or I think it was last week, Stormy Daniels, a porn star, the porn star / stripper. There was an article came out saying that she admitted having a tryst and was paid $130,000 from President Trump's campaign prior to the 2016 campaign launch. Now, she has since denied this, but there was, you know, the excerpt of her, quote unquote, telling her side of the story, but she's denied it multiple times. Now, the cry from the left on this, on the story with Stormy Daniels, who went to near my hometown, actually, to the hometown strip club and danced there this past weekend. It's the biggest weekend this club has ever had in its history of 20 years.
Sure.
But she capitalized on it. She went and, you know, that's what she does for a living. And but Aziz he's not been vilified quite the same.
You're right.
You know,
You're right.
there's a double standard, and it drives me nuts. If we're going to draw a line in the sand, let's draw a line in the sand for everyone, not just whoever we happen to think will vote with us.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you know, it's almost becoming hilarity. And once again, like I said, I'm reading this woman's occasion, you know, her recollection of the story through her friend. I don't. There's no cues here of the word no. I mean,
Maybe I just misread it.
maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying that when he asked her to reciprocate certain actions, she did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it reads of just buyer's remorse. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people that know the true story is Aziz and this chick.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
or Grace. I shouldn't call her chick, but
Yeah.
so these are the two people that know the story. I have no love lost for Aziz. I mean,
Exactly.
But
No,
in the same token, I'll stand up for him. You know, if this story is actually true, it sounds like it's just, buyer's remorse. I mean, you can't go through the whole act. And I mean, this woman has had multiple times. Obviously, you can read through it and you can say, okay, here she could have said no. Here
Right.
she could have said yes. And I'm sure as a New York photographer, and she's in situations with photography, she's probably had to turn down more than one guy
Right.
for a date, and especially obviously she probably was a fairly good-looking, attractive woman if she got a date from Aziz at an Emmy party.
Right.
I'm sure she's probably been hit on more than once, and she probably has a safe word and how to say no. The validity of this story just is questionable at best. So, and like I said, I don't want this story to belittle the other stories that
Right.
that we actually know that have legs to them.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 2 cents.
Yeah, no, and I just want us to make sure that we do all of our due diligence to make sure that the story's true before we trash somebody's career.
Absolutely.
If it's a Harvey Weinstein, sure, let's trash the career all we want.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, gotcha.
Yeah.
But if it's just I don't know, or there's no research, let's not jump on the bandwagon to club them to death.
Right.
Let's give everybody. I mean, we're a society that's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
So let's at least go through the due process and then figure out. And then if that's the case, then we'll deal with it. But
And here's part of the problem too is that we're automatically jumping online and posting stories. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that can thrash his career, like you said, or anyone's career. Rightfully so. If he's guilty, rightfully so. He rolled the dice, he lost. But a kid makes an allegation against a coach
Yeah.
or doctor or a family member. The cops have to come and do investigating.
Mm-hmm.
Investigate. They have to investigate source. They have to do this before they actually file charges. You never hear
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But you will hear about someone's allegations online like that
Yep.
versus going to proper channels. And that's the part of the
Exactly.
problem is that with the internet now, you can put up a website, put a blog up, make allegations, and they don't have to be proven true or not.
Yep.
So that goes to the whole character assassination.
yeah, I mean, people will go down in flames of glory than when they completely didn't do anything.
Exactly.
But just let's all kind of, as we've said before, let's get all the facts and then make an informed decision, and throw our judgment then at that point. But until then, let's hold back and then not have knee-jerk reactions. So there's that. All right. All right. So we're gonna do a new segment called "What I've Learned," and so we are going to
What I've learned.
what I learned, and so it's going to be what we learned from the show. So, Mojo, do you have anything that you learned from the show?
Yeah. Never a character assassinating someone. But, don't jump on the bandwagon of the story until you actually know the facts. No knee-jerk reaction, no false virtue signaling. That was a mouthful.
That was amazing. I was going to say not to buy Bitcoin machines off of Amazon unless I wanted the Bad Baby DVD.
Yeah.
I did learn don't go to babe.com.
Yeah,
That's it.
go to
That's-
babe.net.
Go to babe.net.
If you're going to look up the Aziz article.
That was awful.
Yep, I'm sure. You might have to scrub your website history
I think
now.
I'm gonna have to. So I'm glad that it's documented on the show, so my wife can go back and see why I went to babe.com.
Yeah, I learned that obviously we have spy submarines, casino submarines around.
I've learned that Charlotte cannot put
Charlotte construction projects are probably not one and done. They're probably, hey, let's redo it again.
Oh my gosh! And I learned also I should not try to kill 100 people as a nurse.
You will probably get caught. Just saying. Obviously, if you want free healthcare in Germany, you use at your own risk.
That's the thing that we learned is German healthcare probably sucks.
Yeah, your miles may vary.
Oh, all right. So a couple things on some business meeting stuff. If you would like to come check out the show at the Bustin' Knuckles studio, email us for tickets at sfpradio@gmail.com, and we will get you a nice seat at the Smoking Hot, the
Bad
SFP
Mother Smokers.
Bad Mother Smokers hot seats. Something
We'll get
like
that straight.
one of these days. So you can come check us out and hang out with us.
Also, appreciate the leads we've been getting for some interview requests. So I'm going through those, seeing who will match our show, and hopefully we'll have a report with some people that have been requesting interviews for or suggesting people to interview. So we're kind of going through that. Also, we make no bones about it. Our opinions are our opinions, and we try to use our common sense and just facts that we find to come on our own conclusions. But if there's something we say on the show that you don't like, I challenge anyone to come on the show. I mean, you can come on. We'll have a civil conversation. If you're a listener that's out of the country or in the state somewhere, obviously outside of Charlotte or North Carolina, we can do a phone interview.
Yeah.
We're not opposed to having people that contradict our views. In fact, I like it because either A, you can change my mind, B, my conviction is even stronger. So we like that.
There you go. And one thing too, the housekeeping that we're going to talk about is Southern Fried Lent. So that is going to be something that we are going to be doing during the season of Lent.
Yep.
And we will be doing a 15, 20-minute devotion each day. And so you could check that out. We will post all of those on our SFP website, southernfriedphilosophy.com. And then if you want to join live, we'll have details on our website about that if you'd like to join. And then this week, we will have our store set up on our website. If you would like a Syrup Life t-shirt, we will be selling those online there as well. So check out southernfriedphilosophy.com for all the cool, fun stuff we'll be listing on the site.
Hopefully there's no Syrup Life thongs.
I'm not going to guarantee that that's not there.
I am trying to get ready for bathing suit season, so it could be a possibility.
Yeah, there you go. Keto bathing suit season.
Keto strong.
All right. Well, this is another episode of Southern Fried Philosophy.
Yeah, please go to our Facebook at Southern Fried Philosophy. Go to our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. Twitter, Instagram at SFP Radio. You can also check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/SFP Radio.
And as always, keep looking up.